Okay. Hello everyone. I hope you all are having a wonderful evening. I, Suresh Parekh, co-founder and director of Infinoscope, welcomes you all to the most awaited expert talk on space science and opportunities for school students, jointly organized by Infinoscope and Paramhans Career Point on the wonderful occasion of Earth Day 2021. For this talk, we have prominent speakers like Dr. Apurva, Dr. Shivani, Mr. Giancarlo, whom I will be introducing to you all soon. This webinar will surely turn out to be a gem for all those who wish to pursue their career in space by knowing more about the space sector by the experts associated with it. First of all, let me introduce all the viewers to our organization Infinoscope. Infinoscope is an organization whose ambition is to make space available to all. We believe space should not remain unknown to the world. We believe space is the key to every mystery that revolves around our globe. We believe that the key to knowing the history and predicting the future lies somewhere about the horizon of the earth, and hence its treasure can only be unboxed if we inspire our people to seek it. We all know any new startup or organization is formed to solve a problem whose void is being felt in the society. The same was the case with us. We felt astronomy outreach programs are very few in India. There has always been a void of such an organization which can spread the word of astronomy in society without expecting any monetary benefits. We are on a mission to spread the word of astronomy to each and every person interested in science and astronomy and explain astronomy in an innovative yet simple way. Let me share a small story. How many of you know that the rocket for India's first ever rocket launch was carried in parts on a bicycle to the launch site? The launch sent the NASA-made Nike Apache rocket to space and led to the foundation of Indian Space Research Organization (ISRO) by Vikram Sarabhai on August 15, 1969. And now, as you all know, ISRO has achieved a title to be the first organization to successfully send a space probe to the orbit of the Mars in their first attempt. So, from this story, I just wanted to share that a passion you hold in your veins is the most important essence to the success you will gain. And this is what inspired Infinoscope to start. And still, we take the motivation from it and keeps us on track to help the seekers to know what is space and why we need to seek it in depth. We have Kerry Mehta as the founder and CEO of Infinoscope, Aryan Shah, who is the chief graphic designer of Infinoscope, and we have Ansh Agarwal and Jaivik Deve as the joint heads of social media department. Our vision is to discuss astronomy and space science with everyone. That was a brief introduction to our organization. Moving on towards the webinar, I will first introduce you to the speaker and then we will move on with the talk. Before that, I would like to make an announcement. We have arranged a small interaction and a question answer session at the end of the talk. So whoever has any questions to ask to the speakers can note it down somewhere and can ask to the speakers one by one at the end of the session. Are you everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So firstly, I would like to invite Apurva ma'am for her talk. Dr. Apurva Jakadi is a NASA space educator, member of the National Space Society, Washington DC, and scientific advisor at Orbitex. Ma'am, now we are very much excited to listen to you. The stage is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good evening to all of you. It's indeed a pleasure to be here.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Ma'am. Very good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, very happy Earth Day 2021 to all of you. In fact,
Same
this
to you,
is
ma'am.
Yes, I will definitely congratulate you all team members for organizing today's session because this day is so important, and it is immense. It gives me immense pleasure to address all the students present today and the participants who are here today for this particular session. So shall we start right away? Yes, before we actually proceed, shall I share a small video of Carl Sagan, which is in fact very relevant today. So allow me to share, present the screen now. Is it
Yes, ma'am. You
possible
can
to?
place it. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I'm sure some of you might have already watched this video, but it is highly relevant today. So I would take this opportunity to share Carl Sagan, the greatest cosmologist of all time. His words, which are relevant today in today's scenario. So a small video I'll just present now. Well, is it visible to all?
Yes, ma'am. Your screen is visible.
Sure.
That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love. Every human being who ever was lived out their lives. The air or joy and suffering. Thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines. Every hunter and forager. Every hero and coward. Every creator and destroyer of civilization. Every king and peasant. Every young couple in love. Every mother and father. Hopeful child. Inventor and explorer. Every teacher of morals. Every politician. Every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust, suspended in a sunbeam. The Earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. Think of the rivers of blood spilled by all those generals and emperors, visited by the inhabitants of one corner of this pixel, on the scarcely distinguishable inhabitants of some other corner. How frequent their misunderstandings, how eager they are to kill one another, how fervent their hatreds, our posturings, our imagined self-importance, the delusion that we have some privileged position in the universe, are challenged by this point of pale light. Only speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity, the help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. The Earth is the only world known so, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. Visit? Yes. Settle? Not yet. Like it or not, for the moment, the Earth is where we make our stand. It has been said that astronomy is a humbling and character-building experience. There is perhaps no better demonstration of the folly of human conceits than this distant image. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we've ever known.
Yes, this was the video of Carl Sagan, the famous cosmologist. In his series, The Cosmos, he has made this important speech. So today, this is very relevant because I feel that Earth Day 2021, with this theme of Restore Our Earth, gaining importance as climate change crisis is worsening across the globe, and we definitely need to identify all these problems. So I feel that the younger generation, the students and participants present here, each one of us is responsible in restoring our planet, our Mother Earth, which was rightly called the pale blue dot by Carl Sagan. Why pale? Because in this vast cosmic arena, that is the universe which is ever expanding, we know that we are just a speck and we are a pale blue dot. And that's the reason it's said pale, because it's a distant, we are just a small identity in this cosmic world. And pale and blue because of the presence of water. We all know that so far we have been able to identify Earth-like planets, the habitable planets in the other, solar systems similar to us. Perhaps the similar conditions would be there, but so far we know that this is the only home planet, and this we need to preserve and protect. So I feel that yes, today's day is so significant. Each student and each member present here should be able to contribute to all these issues. We all know that we are depleting all these resources on a planet, on a Mother Earth, at a very fast pace, because perhaps our generation is overutilizing the resources which are here. So what next? What do we do? So I'm sure the space scientists and engineers are already working there. We all know that our own space organization, ISRO, and similar organizations, other organizations including NASA, ESA, JAXA, then the Russian space agencies, Chinese space agencies, all are working together because we know that we have very few resources and we need to preserve them for the next generation, because the mistakes, the we have made shouldn't be repeated by your generation. So I'm sure this is going to, play a very important role, and this is going to carry a great message to all of you present here. Now, what do we do now? Henceforth, I feel that every citizen, the future citizens of India, of the whole globe, in fact, we need to, replenish the forest, the vegetation, because we know because of the presence of water, this pale blue dot, that is blue planet, we need to also preserve the water bodies, and we need to reduce the pollution. We can, the critical issues we can, attend, such as the global warming, all these, green, preserving the green planet, and particularly using green technology, we can preserve and, protect our ecosystem. So that is the message which has to be conveyed today. So I feel that today's day, the Earth Day, is celebrated across the globe, and 192 countries, almost 200 countries are participating in this particular movement, and there are almost 75,000 plus partners who are coming together to celebrate this particular day. It's not just the celebration, but it is, the observance of this, and also, this important day, the message which goes underlying this, we have to, be a part of this particular change, particularly using these green technologies. We know that we can use the non-conventional energy resources which are present in abundance, such as the solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy. So that is the responsibility of your generation. So with that, I feel that, yes, this particular day is so significant because it, focuses on natural processes and the emerging green technologies which need to probably, mention to you or told to you through textbooks or through curriculum, and, even co-curriculum. What you are supposed to do is perhaps, coming together under such, activities. And also in this particular year and last year as well, we were because of the pandemic, we were not able to go out and celebrate this and observe this particular day. But what each one of you can do is at home, we can start implementing aspects like saving energy, saving electricity, because we know a lot of coal, even today, water resources are used in abundance, whether it's thermal projects, or it could be hydroelectric projects or any other project. We need to reduce the use of these resources. So I'm sure each one as a responsible citizen and the future citizen of India can contribute in this way. And what I also feel, and that this day it was observed for the very first time in 1970, way back on 22nd of April, when we started observing this particular important day. So with this great message to be communicated to all of you, today we are gathered here to observe this day virtually. But maybe next year onwards, you can go to places where there are less resources. You can go and create awareness. You can spread awareness across in your society, in your individual places and cities. So I feel that yes, the restoration technologies, the climate change and environmental literacy can be promoted through all these particular activities. And what I feel is, yes, NASA Earth has also tweeted during this particular important day. They say that yes, as we prepare for the Earth Day, here at NASA, we are thinking about the ways how we are connected to our home planet. So it is all about spreading proper awareness and reaching out to masses, particularly in our rural places where we cannot connect maybe through internet, etc. We are lucky that because of the digital divide, we have abundant resources, we have everything in abundance in cities, whereas in places where we cannot reach, in villages, rural or interior places, perhaps we cannot reach. But maybe you can physically go and conduct such activities and spread awareness where there is need to conserve resources, including water resources. Then there are other speakers as well today. We are going to listen to other speakers. So I feel that if time permits, I can continue for another 5 minutes. Is it okay?
Sure, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, no problem.
Yeah. Well, I, on this particular opportunity, I take to present the views of Yuri Gagarin. Most of us are, all of us are aware of this fact that Yuri Gagarin was the first cosmologist, Soviet cosmologist, the first man to go into space. So he was able to circumvent the Earth way back on 12th of April 1961. So I remember his words, which I thought of communicating or sharing with you. He said that when he was into space, he said that I can see the Earth, which is deep, which is blue. The Earth is blue, he said, and he said how wonderful and how amazing it is. So these were his words when he went up into the space for the very first time. And then he said his important speech, which he probably some of you might have heard about it, or you might have read on the internet, that his famous words, I thought of echoing those words today. Circling the Earth in the orbital spaceship, I marveled at the beauty of our blue planet, our planet Earth. People of the world, let us safeguard and enhance its beauty and not destroy it. So these were the words which I thought are very relevant in today's scenario. Also, he said that I saw for the first time the Earth's shape, and I could easily see the shore in the continents and islands, etc., the great rivers, the world of terrains, that is the mountains, then the large bodies of water. He said, he continued, he said that the horizon is dark blue. I can smoothly see that smoothly turning it into black. He said that horizon is dark blue. I smoothly turning it into black, and I have the feeling that which is filled in me, I can express with one word, that is joy. So that those were the words of Yuri Gagarin, the cosmologist, the Soviet cosmologist. He said that looking at the Earth from afar, you can realize it is too small for conflicts, but too large enough for cooperation. So those were the words of Yuri Gagarin. Then I feel that yes, all these cosmologists, astronauts, who go into the cosmonauts who go into space, the astronauts, and our own India's juggernauts will be voyaging into deep space. They are all working for the cooperation. They are working for the betterment of humankind. So they say that we can use space. Space belongs to everyone. It is not just for one particular country to use space and the resources of the other planets, or perhaps, moon or Mars or any other planet. It belongs to all the countries alike. It is the common interest, you can say. And what we need to do is we can explore it and use it for the betterment of humankind. And most importantly, the United Nations has given some space laws. They say that space is to be used for useful and constructive purposes of humankind. So with that, I conclude my speech here. And I once again wish all of you a very happy Earth Day. And it is not just for the celebration or observance of this particular day. I feel that as every individual, we can contribute in small ways at home or even outside in your small community. You can spread this message of saving electricity, saving water, because all these resources are very precious and belong to us, and we all have to use it very meticulously, very intelligently, so that we keep these resources for the next generations to come. So with these words, I would like to, I conclude my speech here, and I would like to wish all of you once again on this occasion. Thank you so much for inviting me today to talk on this particular topic and address all the students here. Maybe at the end of the session, we can have a question answer session. Maybe after other presentations, we can, if time permits, we can again interact. So thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am, very much. We really appreciate your time over here.
Yes, great pleasure.
Those words are really inspirational for the youth right now.
Yes,
we really appreciate that. So now we will like our next speaker to take the platform, Miss Shivani Johari. Yeah, ma'am, you can have your stage.
Yes, good evening, all of you. And it's a privilege for me to share the board with such eminent personalities and dignitaries. Am I audible to you all?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Shivani Johari, and on the behalf of Orbitex Aerospace India, I'm here to throw some light on Earth Day 2021. It is observed every year on April 22nd, as the Purva ma'am already gave so much information about this particular day, and we are celebrating it from 1970. So it's our 51st Earth Day today, as we are celebrating, and it is actually celebrated to create awareness on the planet where we are surviving on, where we are living on, basically. And the global theme of this day for 2021 is to restore our planet, restore our earth. First of all, we have to understand that how the space and our earth is connected. So basically, if we understand, earth is a small member of with all the neighbors in the universe, and this all comprises to form a space. And if we are not able to save our planet, protect our planet Earth, then we are not particularly and definitely will not be able to serve the space as well. So, first of all, we have to understand that we have to clean our home. We have to clean the place we are living in. We have to save it, we have to protect it, we have to adore it to get to this space. As we all are from the space, Orbitex India, Aerospace India, and I would really like to thank Ravi Singh Shekhawat for such wonderful board and the platform where I can share my thoughts to the students. And as I'm seeing that approximately 50 students and members are there which are listening to me, I just wanted to tell you that celebrating the earth day doesn't mean that we are uh, celebrating it in on a webinar, doing some activities and kind of things, or planting the tree on the earth day and not taking the care of earth in any other means. So it is not like that. It's a whole year through process. And as I think my colleagues Ravi has my colleague Ravi has told you that I got COVID positive, and right now I'm in quarantine. So I really wanted to throw some light on COVID issues as well, if the time permits. But first of all, I would like to say that space is a particular periphery where Earth is a member. So we have to understand that save our Earth to save the planet. But the second thing is that if we are able to do everything we are able to get from the Earth, because Earth is there to satisfy our needs, not our greeds. We humans are becoming greedy and doing every wrong thing with the earth, or I can say exploiting the earth too much extent that we are not able to get into the space in the future, or the future generation will not able to um, uh, get the most precious things from earth even through the space also. So as our company is working to Orbitex India, Aerospace India is working to in the direction of manufacturing RLVs and all. So I just suggest you or throw some light on how we can save our earth on the Earth Day. Then it is like that we are celebrating the Earth Day whole year, and we are talking on the Earth Day on April 22nd. It is only the thing we can do. So I just wanted to share some points where every student, every person in the home, whether it's father, mother, grandfather, grandmother, or small children, they all can utilize every resource of earth preciously and intelligently. So there are some points which I have seen which we can understand. First of all, before starting about that points, I would also like to thank Infinoscope. I was just thinking about the name, and the name itself suggests that uh, you are going to do work infinitely. Your company is going to do infinite work in the field of space, in the field of saving the planets, in the field of more utilization of the resources. So I just want to share some points which we all can do. We can shop from the local people if possible. Local people, like we can shop from the local farmers, we can shop from the local vendors which they are providing for us. As it's my personal experience that from a small town of Rajasthan I shifted to Delhi and then to Noida. I just saw that metro cities are exploiting more. Whole India is exploiting the things, but the metro cities are exploiting earth um, so at so vivacious level that we cannot understand that where to stop, where to start, what to do with those people. So first of all, if we go to malls, if we pay unlimitedly and use some kind of plastic things, or just for our status symbol. If we are going to do something which is ultimately um, I mean, which is ultimately harming the earth or harming our planet. So don't do that. Shop local. Use some organic things. You can also grow the vegetables in your pots as well, organically. Buy less. If you are not in a need of something, don't buy it. It is indirectly connected to saving the earth. As you are using more things in the room, in your houses, or you are using more, you are accumulating those things which are not in need. Ultimately you have to throw it off. And what's that, what's the point behind that? When you are going to throw it out, you know, many things are there which cannot be decomposed for so many years. So it is waste for you as well as for the planet, as well as for the people or the animals around. And you can just go for buying organic and planting organic. Just a lot of things can be used in pots as well as in through your gardens. You can plant for 12 months some fruits, veggies. You can plant in your gardens and pots throughout the year. So this is the first step. If you can do, you people can do, and you, the students who are short in lesser in age, their parents can do. But do it at least in these points. Just go for 2 or 3 points which you can do in your throughout a year, and you will come to know that you will get that satisfactory feeling that yes, I have done something for um, my mother earth. Use cycle or walk rather than using cars or bikes. If you can use cycle, and if you can walk for shorter distances, you can um, go for a better utilization of your resources. As my brother has cars, bikes, and still he bought a cycle last year, and he used to go with cycle to approximately 15 kilometers and get back to home. So it is process for getting healthy and for a healthy planet also. And I just suggest that go vegetarian, fully vegetarian. But I know it is a thing that not everyone can do. But if we can go for lesser meat, then please go for it. Because as we know that COVID, we get, how do we get COVID? Everybody of us knows. And planting tree doesn't mean that on the earth the day we have planted tree, captured some photographs, publicize it, and then forget. No, please don't go for it. Either don't go for it. Just have you have to plant a tree and take care of it at least for 3 years, so that it can manage its roots by itself. And as Apurva ma'am told us, and that go for green energy. Green energy can be solar or wind. As my PhD thesis topic was on wind energy, and I come to know that if we utilize wind energy, maximum possibilities there, we are going to cut down the petroleum prices as well. So if we are complaining about that, oh my god, Modi government has so and so, Congress government has so and so, has done so and so, petrol prices, diesel hikes, don't go for it. Just try to make some utilization of your life by using these things, renewable things. And use fluorescent bulbs. You can use fluorescent bulbs instead of tube lights and all. Take shorter showers. Don't go for it. That utilization of water is also so much important. And take stairs rather than lift. What I do, I personally do a lot of things in my life, day to day life. So I just want you to suggest that even in the COVID times, I used to go with the key in the lift, and I used to put off the light and fan as I exit the lift. Not everyone is that doing. So what I did, I just place a paper in the lift that please put off the button of light and fans in the lift if you are using. So in these type of things, the small steps we can take. Okay, so and use both side of papers. If you are using aluminum foil somewhere, and if you can use your newspaper which you are going to sell or throw, use that instead. Don't use plastic bag. Have a bowl. If you are the left you have the leftovers over there, put in that. And when you get out of the home, get it for the throw it out for the animals. So don't use plastic. Use paper bags. Use cloth bags for the. These are the small steps I'm discussing. Is the general talk about that, because being in such kind of health issues, I was not at all able to come with the presentation, or I would have been would have come with the presentation for all of you for with that all those points. So, and first the last and not the least, that reuse and recycle the things which you can. If you're ordering some outside food, you have that plastic balls. Use that for for further use rather than throwing it. If you are getting bottles, water bottles or something from the airports or railway stations or something, get it back to the home and use it for planting trees or for the birds. So these are all the things. I just know that everybody is not able to do, or not have time to do, or not have a in a mindset to do something at the large scale, that we are going to plant 100 trees and take care of those trees. But at least from the home, from morning 6 a.m. if you are waking up, and from morning 6 to evening 10, you have hundreds of ways to saving our planets. The thing is that if you want to do, you can do. Definitely you can do. So just go for that. And remember, earth doesn't belongs to man. Man belongs to earth. She is our mother. We are not, you know, we all are children. So we have to take care of mother if we want to survive, if we want to have our future survival at a good level. So just go for that. And last but not the least, I'm just throwing 2 points on COVID situations. That COVID situations uh, um, spread due to so many reasons, but the most important thing in today's today's scenario is we are lacking oxygen cylinder. Why we are lacking oxygen cylinders? If we have taken care of earth, um, is there any need of any oxygen cylinders or kind of things? No. We can take it from nature as well. Maximum possibilities there. Oxygen level might doesn't goes down in that conditions, that oxygen level is of the people during COVID is going down. So it is not possible. If we have saved the earth, we have saved the planet, and we have used or utilized the resources mindfully, then it is not possible that we would in lack of something. So it is a recent example, a smallest example. Thousands and millions of examples on the earth is there where we can understand those things. So just concluding, not taking much time, and soon the time will come when a man will know what is going on the other planets, and will be able to visit all of them. But only one thing he has to do: he has to survive with the earth conditions, not to exploit the earth according to his conditions. So just save the earth, save yourself, and be a part of gracious space. Thank you so much to all, and thank you Purva ma'am and Ravi also. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It was very good to know about the sustainability of our planet. There's someone who is so much curious about the sustainability of our planet, what we need to do, and it was a great initiative of yours to help the school students to know what we should do in our daily life, what sustainable steps we have to take in our daily life. It was really grateful, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Once again, thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
So now I would like to invite Giancarlo sir for his talk. He is a Mr. Giancarlo is a space ambassador for Italy and a space blogger. So, sir, the stage is all yours.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Let me see if you can see my screen, because I have a presentation for you. Can you see it is coming?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Not yet.
Can you please present this once again?
Yeah, let me see now. Is it coming?
Yes, sir. Now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. So let's start the presentation. So this is Earth Day, and it's my pleasure to celebrate it with you. Thank you so much, and to speak about space and what space can do for our Earth, our planet. What is the importance of space for us? So just a few words about me. I'm a space ambassador, so I'm not really a space professional, but I'm a space enthusiast, a lover of space. I have a big passion for it, and I share this passion on my blog, as in my introduction. And the main concept I would like to share with you is exactly the importance of space for our planet. We'll go through some topic. We'll go talking about the world population, how many we are, how many we could be, what is the impact of the human activities, and why then space is important for Earth today and what can do for it in the future. And then a final call to action for everybody of us, especially you, of course. So, world population. How many are we? We are more than 7 billion. We reached this number in 2011. Last year, the growing rate of the population was about 1%, 81 million per year. What does it mean? It means that by 2023, we will reach 8 billion, remember this number, 8 billion of people on this planet. We will be 9 billion in 2037 and 10 billion in 2055. So a huge number. Another aspect to take care, Earth carrying capacity. What is the Earth carrying capacity? It's a concept that many scientists developed about how many people can this planet sustain in a sustainable way, of course. So how many people can live on the Earth without harming it? Well, in 2012, the United Nations published a paper about all these studies that have been done, and the majority of estimates put a limit in this capacity. And this limit is exactly 8 billion people. What does it mean? By 2023, we will be 8 billion. So the number of people on the Earth will be just the amount that the Earth can sustain. What's next? 2037, we will be 1 billion more. 2055, 2 billion more. So what does it mean? What does it mean? Let's see what it means already today and what it will be in the future. So today we are already polluting our planet to survive, to live there. We are producing, for example, 380 million tons of plastic each year. And of course, not all of this plastic is recycled. Most of this plastic is dispersed in the environment. Another aspect, the environmental pollution, it's increasing every year. Just to give you a number, in 2019, and just for the air contamination in Asia, we had more than 2 million deaths. That's an incredible number. And if you look CO2 emissions, the first cause of climate change, we are producing every year more than 30 billion megatons since 2003. This rate is constantly increasing. In 2019, we reached 36 billion. And just last year, due to the COVID pandemic, this number was a bit lower, but the trend we will take on again and again. If we talk about resources, oh, this is another topic that can be very important for you to understand. What is the Earth Overshoot Day? Let me read the definition. The Overshoot Day is the date when humanity's demand for ecological resources and services in a given year exceeds what Earth can regenerate in that year. What does it mean? What does it mean that there is a day in the year in which we have consumed all the resources that the planet is able to renew? And if you look at the picture, don't look at numbers, but just look at this trend. The first one, all green, was 1970. We were at the end of the year consuming all the resources that the planet was renewing. Then from that year on, we consumed more and more. In 2019, this number was at the end of July. It means that from the end of July on, we were consuming resources that the planet is not able to regenerate. So they are just depleted. It means that in 2019, we were consuming at the end of the year 1.6 Earths. So not only our Earth, but 1.6 Earths. And unluckily, this trend is increasing every year and every year. Just last year, as before, we had a big drop in this date because of the pandemic situation. So you see, 2023 is right behind here. We will reach the limit of our planet to sustain the Earth population. What should we do? Sorry, can you still hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I was receiving a call for Ravi. Sorry for that. Okay. So I was saying, okay, it's time to do two main things. Let me just see here why I'm connected by. Okay. Yes. So we need to do two main things. The first one is to lower our footprint on the planet. Lower our footprint on the planet with many things. The most important one is a plan that the United Nations have already introduced called the UN Sustainable Development Goals. These are very important goals that every nation has received, that international organizations have received to lower our footprint. And then the other important thing, we need to start to leverage on this new element, this outer space. So this will help us to grow the population, we can say indefinitely, because the space is infinite. So we will, thanks to space, we can grow without harming our planet. Let's see what the space is doing today for our planet, and then let's see and dream a bit about what it can do in the future. So first of all, you know, we have a lot of satellites already in the sky, and these satellites are helping us with communications, telecom networks, and so on. So these are very important. But these satellites are important also because they are looking at our planet and providing a lot of information and data about our planet health. And these techniques are supporting the UN Sustainable Development Goals that we talked before to accelerate their achievement. This is very, very important. They are useful for farmers. They are useful for fishermen. They are useful for scientists. They are useful for a lot of things. Then another topic, space is important for the Earth today because thanks to the technologies that are developed to explore space. We are able to bring these technologies to the Earth, to the non-space industries. An example, your mobile, you have a camera. This camera has been designed for space, to be put on spacecrafts and take pictures on other planets and stars. So this is just a little example, but there are plenty of. What can do space for Earth in the future? Oh, there are a lot of potential developments we can do to have a lot of benefits. Let's just see about pollution, resources, and population growth. About pollution, I would like to read with you a sentence from Jeff Bezos, Amazon founder, Blue Origin founder, the most rich person on this planet. And he is convinced that we need to move heavy industry off the Earth. It will be way better done in space anyway. It means that one of the big root cause of pollution on our planet are heavy industries. And if we will be able in the future to remove them from the Earth and bring them somewhere else, like in outer space, or even on the moon, for example, because it's a perfect location due to the available resources that are there, the reduced gravity well, and the proximity with the Earth, we will remove one of the biggest cause of pollution from the planet. What about resources? As I said, the moon is full of resources that can be used, can be mined, metals and water ice and other things that can be used to build structures and manufacture products. Asteroids contains a lot of resources too, and water ice, as I said before, for the moon. So they are could be really important for our development in space. Another topic, energy. The sun is emitting energy in every second, and a lot of energy. If we could be able to take it and transfer it to the Earth or use it in space, it will be a limitless source of clean energy. And what about the growth? Oh, you can imagine there is, as I said right here, there is a lot of space. So we can build artificial infrastructures like stations, like the International Space Station we have. In the near future, there will be a Chinese space station. There will be a commercial space station. There will be a lunar gateway. They are starting to grow. They are starting to be more and more. We can build these artificial infrastructures. Then we can even go to the moon. The moon, you see, it's very close, and we are starting to do many missions. NASA itself is aiming to bring again man on the moon for 2024 and starting to build a base there. So this is an ideal location to start with our space colonization. Or there are other natural satellites in our solar system, or even dwarf planets. So there are many, many places to be there in the future. So in the end, space is a great ally for humanity. It's used already today, and we have to leverage on it more and more to accelerate the sustainable development goals from the United Nations. And then we have to start the space colonization to grow beyond what is the Earth carrying capacity limit we saw before. There is a little call to action for you all. So first of all, lower your personal impact. As the other speaker was said before, there are a lot of little things you can do every day. Even if you're not doing until now, you can start to do them. And there are a lot of little steps to do. You can find this list everywhere. Earth Day organization, another organization called You Matter. And there are plenty of places in the internet which you can find how to lower your personal impact on the planet. And then you are students, your big contribution, a direct contribution you can bring to solve these issues are studying STEM disciplines, STEM disciplines. What are? Science, technology, engineering, mathematics. These are the disciplines that are directly impacting to find a solution, to explore space, to do many, many, many things for our planet. Then If you want to know more about space, you can follow Infinoscope magazine, the organizer of this webinar, or if you want to look at my personal blog called Spacepolitans, Becoming Spacepolitans, and there are plenty of things you can do in the internet to know more about space. Last thing, I would like to thank you for having me here, and I will leave you with this great picture of our planet. It was taken in 1968 by the astronaut William Anders during the Apollo 8 mission. It's called Earthrise, and it is the first time that a human was looking at the Earth orbiting around the moon. The Earth was rising from the horizon of the moon. And the nature photographer Galen Rowell defined this the most influential environmental photograph ever taken, because it seems that the ecological movement started exactly knowing that we are in this pale blue dot there. So thank you so much. This is my presentation, and I leave now the field.
Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. We are overwhelmed to have you with us. Also, thank you so much for mentioning Infinoscope magazine in your presentation. So before proceeding towards the interaction and question and answer session, there is a one small announcement. Just let me present my screen. So is my screen visible? And the two photos?
Yes.
So this is a little girl, Gunjan. She has been dedicated 2 postcards to Apurva ma'am and Shivani ma'am. Thank you so much, Gunjan. Gunjan is a 4th class and is studying in Jaipur. His dad's sister name used for Indian fighter plane, Cuckoo. So an Indian fighter plane is being developed by India, whose name is Cuckoo. Thank you so much, Gunjan, for being with us and for this wonderful surprise.
Yes.
Apurva, if you want to speak something?
Yes, sure. This is really nice of her to, make cards in this short span, because, knowing that today is Earth Day, she was able to make it. So that shows the space enthusiasm. It's a, enthusiasm of that little girl, which, is so encouraging. This is really, a message to all of you, that you have so much of time and energy right now. You must utilize in such good work and constructive work, which you can sit at home and do a lot of good activities. This is real great example which is said by Gunjan. So thank you so much for this small gesture, and it's so encouraging to see such little toddlers and children who are coming into this particular area. And so that shows that this inculcates scientific temperament at a very young age. So it's really nice to see that. So I would also like to say a small aspect which I thought at the end of the session I will try to communicate to all of you, that today on this occasion, if we all come together and take a pledge that this Earth Day, that Earth and I are best friends. So that means that when you are a good friend, you are definitely going to, give back to the society, give back to the earth. So in fact, all the 365 days, that is the solar days, are all Earth days. But this particular day is identified so that, it will remind us that we have to give, we owe a lot, and we need to give back to the earth, planet Earth, to our home planet. So with that, we can, each one of us can do a small bit, as rightly said by Gyana, sir, sorry if I mispronounce your name, and also rightly said by Dr. Shivani. So these are small aspects which, we can give back to the planet Earth, because she's a mother and we need to take care of her. So thank you once again. Yes, over to you. Do you have any question, answers, or anything?
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, if anyone has having any question, they can just raise your hand. I will call your name and then you can ask your question. So firstly, I would like to invite Ronak Jangir for his question. Are you here, Ronak? Hello. Or I guess it is Rohit Jangir.
Hello.
Okay, then moving on to the next one. Is Monica Lamora present? Lamori. Hello. Monica, do you have any question?
No, sir.
Okay. So, any other student having any question, or would you like to interact with our speakers? You are most welcome. Yes, Dev. You can unmute yourself.
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, my question is this: that how does global warming affect the earth?
Yes, global warming is the term which is so commonly used today in this present scenario. What is happening is the temperatures of the of Earth, that is where the place where we live in. Every city or every place has the standard temperatures, but due to global warming, what is happening is because of the carbon emissions, because of the heat generated, a lot of lights and electricity being used. So we are heating up the planet. So the temperatures of the Earth are generally they are rising, and we all have also come across the major aspect, that is even the glaciers, even our Himalayan glaciers are melting in such large extent. And what is happening is eventually the seashore, the mean sea level of seas and oceans, that is also rising. So there are a lot of aspects. It's a very alarming condition. You can say that we have to save the planet, because by the time we generally know that the temperatures in our country, in our subcontinent, we in past few years also we have been seeing that there is rising temperature. It's becoming hotter and hotter day by day. So we need to act on it very fast, so that it's not too late to take actions. Over to you, sir. You can add throw light on this topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Who is next? Who wants to ask a wonderful question to our speakers? Or anyone wants any advice? You are most welcome.
Yes. Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, good evening.
Ma'am, my question is that is anything is invented yet to destroy that plastic?
Yeah, sorry, can you repeat it? I was able to get half of the. Yes, can you repeat?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my question is that is anything invented that can able to destroy the plastic yet?
Okay, you mean to say the plastics which are used extensively across the earth, across the globe. So we haven't come to a solution. Yes, you can actually recycle the plastics, which generally the commonly used plastics, different forms of plastics. You can need not destroy. You can recycle and use it, reuse it. But most importantly is, yes, when you are destroying it, it is naturally going to pollute the earth. And we know that we cannot dump the plastics which we are overusing all these resources. And it is also most of the times we see on the seashores, on the beaches, a lot of nets and plastic the utensils or the small vessels which we use for our convenience. We are using it, even the thermocol and a lot of materials which we are using. We are not able to totally get away with it. But then what we should do is we can use some alternative for this, and we should definitely reduce the use of plastics. I must say that yes, it's better to, instead of using those polythene bags, etc., what you can do is use paper bags or paper cups or whatever. So as far as possible you can reduce the use. But yes, completely destroying it is probably not totally possible. But yes, the certain grades of plastics, they are a bit biodegradable. Maybe you can use certain material which is biodegradable so that it goes into the earth. So you can at least reduce those effects, the harmful effects which is going to cause to humanity in general. Maybe in the years to come, we need to develop something which we can have a great good alternative for using plastics. And similarly, nylons and the thick ropes, etc., instead of using metals, you can use some material which we can, some engineering material which you can probably you don't have the difficulties in at least destroying it. Such materials you should always prefer. That is, we need to focus on doing research in developing some certain materials which will be, not so harmful to the human beings in the near future. Okay.
Yeah, if I can add one thing to this
Yes,
topic.
sir, please.
Yes, and since you are a student, you are interested in this topic, there are early studies about using bacteria to destroy plastic. These are early studies, of course, but if you are interested in this topic, you can study biology and then be part of this kind of projects, because it's in your hands in the end. So like Apurva Madam said, there are bioplastics to be developed, materials to be developed that will not harm in the future our planet like plastic today, but even studies to recover the actual situation, because there is really a lot of plastic already in our world and we have to get rid of it in some way.
That's so true, sir. And also the biofuels are being, worked on so that you can reduce the use of petroleum products, etc., so that you can use more and more biofuels, so that it will be less polluting, and in fact it will not have a reversible, we need not destroy it completely, but it can save, of course, the atmosphere and the balance the ecosystems, so that what lies for the future generation, at least we can stop the destruction of this planet. At least henceforth we can reduce the use of such products.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, sir, for the wonderful explanation. So do we guys have any more questions from the students?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, how to preserve our resources?
Yes, as I said, we can preserve the resources, particularly the petroleum, products, and also the fossil fuels. We generally say that they are what you call exhaustible resources. What we can do is we can reduce the use, so that, as I said earlier, and even Dr. Shivani ma'am and sir also had mentioned, that we can encourage people to use the newer type of technologies, the green technologies, as we earlier said, particularly the non-conventional energy resources, and particularly, solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, which are, available free of cost, and most importantly, they are they are not polluting resources. So what we can do is we can encourage people to use these technologies, though perhaps it is expensive to use it initially, but the return on investments, definitely you can get the results in few years to come. So with those things, I think even our countries are also, most of the countries are promoting and they are encouraging people to use these technologies, particularly wind and solar energy.
One more thing I want to add, that you guys can go to MNRE website, Ministry of New Renewable Energy Sources, and there are lot of projects, even financial aids, which can help students in such kind of things. If you're doing some great things in the field of preservation of such kind of sources, so you can go there and put your project idea over there, and they will pay for you for the same to you guys, and definitely will help too. And if you are getting any kind of I mean, you're not getting any kind of help, then please contact to me. I have so many persons over there which help students in such kind of things, projects, and kind of works where the students are being encouraged in preservation of such kind of fuels and all, resources. So you can go over there also and file your project, your ideas over there. And you
Ma'am,
can
can
also
you
read
please
something.
repeat that website name again?
MNRE hai. You can go to Google and mnregov.in, Ministry of New Renewable Energy Sources. You can also find a lot of things over there on the website.
Yes, I would also like to add here that students are perhaps, in the high school level, but perhaps in the next, few years to come, you also can get acquainted with such projects which ma'am just now mentioned. And also, late Dr. Kalam was also, taking so many, popularizing these initiatives. One is mentioned as space-based solar energy initiatives, which India, and along with the National Space Society, NSS, Washington, D.C., we had some collaborative work which Dr. Kalam had initiated, that was mainly to energy in solar energy in the atmosphere, and how we can utilize it for our daily use. So there are some important initiatives which were taken by Dr. Kalam.
Yes, it's true.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the valuable information. So, are there any students for speech?
I think Monica Lamoria is there for speech.
Great.
Okay, so Monica, you can unmute yourself and you can present your views.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Monica Lamoria. I want to say some words on Earth Day. Earth Day is celebrated on
Monica,
22
please on your camera.
Okay, sir. Earth Day is celebrated on 22 April every year. This day is celebrated to aware people about the importance of environment in the Earth. Earth is a unique planet in the solar system. It has atmosphere in whole solar system. Earth provides all resources to living for survival. It is a blue planet because it has 70% water in its Earth's surface. Earth is our mother planet because it gives all necessary things to us to survive on its surface. It is our moral duty to do everything for its conservation. If we are doing anything for this, it is our we should take suitable steps for its conservation. In the world, almost 193 countries are involved to celebrate Earth Day today. Thank you.
Yeah, very nice.
That was amazing, Monica. Thank you so much for the wonderful speech. Is there any more students for such kind of speech? You would like to hear your views.
I have
one more
question for Giancarlo sir. Yeah, sir. Tell.
Yeah, sir. One more question by side Muskan. Khushbu, oh, sorry. Khushbu, please.
May I ask question, sir?
Yes, please proceed.
To Giancarlo, sir.
Go ahead.
क्या जब प्लैनेट्स रिवॉल्व करते हैं तो एनर्जी रेडिएट करते हैं क्या? अगर वो करते हैं तो वो फिर एनर्जी गेन कहाँ से करते हैं?
I can translate that question. What she's trying to say is when planets like Earth are revolving, how do we gain energy, and how do planets radiate that energy back?
Okay. Gain the, okay, good question about the energy. I get it now. Thank you. Because it was on two different levels of things, no? So first of all, I was thinking about the energy, the orbital energy. So I was on another road. But if you mean orbiting around the sun, so the sun is emitting energy, a lot of energy. And constantly, because there is the atomic fusion in it and burning hydrogen and emitting a lot of power, solar energy, we call it. And while the planet is rotating around the sun, of course, it is immersed in this energy that is emitted. And what was the idea from Albert Einstein to collect this energy? Because he won the Nobel Premium for this, Nobel Prize for this. He invented a way to convert this energy coming from the sun that are photons. It's light. For us, it's light. What you see of the sun, no? It's quite common. To convert this energy in electricity. And so this is the way we can use this electricity from the sun. It's not that there is directly electricity back. On the other end, this light emitted by the sun is heating the earth. Some of the energy is kept by the earth, and some of this energy is reflected back. Because the earth is not black, we saw it's a blue dot, but there are clouds and there is the water, and they emit back the solar energy from the sun. This is why we see it in space. That's why. So this is the mechanism. If I can add one thing about climate change, why the carbon emissions are so important and so impacting this, because you have to consider the carbon emission like a cover for our planet, because the carbon emission are taking the energy coming from the sun on the earth and not letting it escape in space. This is why we are warming up, because there is this extra cover from the carbon emission. And yeah, your question was really interesting, and it took a while. Sorry for this, but it's really interesting because while we are orbiting the sun, we are receiving a lot of energy, and we have to try to use it in the best possible way, because it's there for us. It's not polluting anything, and if we can use it, it's better, because it's we call it renewable, because the sun is continuously emitting it. Yeah, they will be in the far future, in 4 billion years. It will stop, it will change a bit, but 4 billion years, it's a lot of time. We have to think about the next 10, 20, 30 years. So the very short time frame, and this energy will be there for us in this period of time.
So it all boils down to Albert Einstein's energy mass equation, that is E is equal to mc square. So converting the mass into energy, or energy getting converted both ways, that's possible. So very nice question indeed.
Yes, very nice. I hope I have answered
Thank you,
it.
ma'am.
Because it's so wide.
Dear
It's so
Sir, Sahil from Jaipur has one question for you.
Okay.
Yes.
Sir, my question is very common. How this COVID-19 affected Earth's resources, different resources?
So your voice was very low, but I think I got it. So how COVID-19 has affected the use of resources, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
it seems so. Okay. So, well, you can see two effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. One effect is that the majority of people had to stay at home. So they were not moving. And especially you see this effect in 2020, at least in Europe, because I have in mind the Europe situation in March, April timeframe, you will see a lot of emissions dropped, mainly emissions due to cars, no pollution. And in that period of time, there was also a saving in the resources because people was not using them to move. They were using them to eat, of course, to heat the houses, of course, but not to move. And that's why in the slide I show you about the Earth Overshoot Day, in 2020, we had gained some day. So instead of having the Overshoot Day at the end of July, it was mid of August, around the 20th of August. So we had a real partial saving of resources. But it means that if we can move less, we can save resources. So this is, of course, something clear. What is the other effect, not positive, of course, is that we used also resources for to fight against. One thing that is something I hate personally is to see the masks on the roads forgot by someone, etc. We use a lot of things that are not reusable and that we have to throw away, like the masks or other things. So one thing that is, it's not really a big impact, but if you start to see these kind of things around in the nature, it's like plastic, no? And one thing I can ask you, if you use masks, don't throw them in the environment. Throw them in the right place, in the bins or whatever. Not throw them in the environment. So on one side, this pandemic taught us that if we can, move less or be more careful on how to use the resources, the impact is clear. We see the impact on the environment. And on the other side, if we have to dispose things, let's do it in the right way, not in the environment, but in the right way, in the right places. Of course, these masks cannot be reused, cannot be recycled, and other things used for COVID, to treat COVID, cannot be reused, cannot be recycled. We have to be careful on how to dispose of them, not to pollute the environment.
Very nicely addressed, sir. And I feel that, yes, we have saved on the fuels and the energy there, but more of energy is getting, used, overutilized in hospitals. And particularly, as Dr. Shivani also mentioned, that yes, a lot of oxygen, particularly the cylinders which we are, using oxygen for patients who have severe lung infections, and they need to, be pumped with so much of oxygen because of these effects which they have, it's created in their, especially breathing problems, etc. So there, a lot of our electricity and the resources are being used there. And I think in last 2 years, we have use more of water resources, because washing hands every now and then, keeping cleanliness at home, and saving all of us from this particular pandemic, this COVID and SARS-2 RNA type virus, which is a message to mankind that yes, we need to be able to fight back such viruses in the future, and as well as in the present scenario. We can see how we can get out of this particular situation, particularly in this second wave of COVID coronavirus. So this was also a very nice question. In case you have any further questions, you can always ask. Thank you.
Ma'am, I want a question.
Yes.
Myself, Palak, and I am question related to the plastic. Ma'am, today condition is very bad with plastic, and plastic was the reason of many diseases. So finally, plastic was banned. Why not? And plastic different the reason of the different disease by animals and humans and animals both. And but in this step was not. But and finally, use of the plastic was closed. But in this step was not applied.
Yes, use of plastics we definitely need to reduce, as it was earlier said. And as you rightly said, that sometimes the cattle who are rearing, which are rearing on the fields, etc., they sometimes by mistake consume those things which are there as a part of the vegetation or in water, etc. There are fishes and other life forms which are getting affected. So definitely this needs to be answered. So we should reduce the use of certain grade of plastics which are not good for human beings to sustain on this planet. Because as Sir rightly mentioned, that because of the overpopulation and overuse, proportionately we are using more and more plastics in our day-to-day life. We must all come together and reduce the use of those aspects like polythene bags and the thermocol, etc., which we can have alternatives, and we can make this change at home. Each one of us can do that.
Okay, Palak, can I add one thing also?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. You are in which standard?
12th standard.
12th standard. You have your paternal side and maternal side, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Just do one thing. Throw out all the poly bags in your house, all the things right away. Okay? And then in your maternal side and in your paternal side, all the families who are bringing poly bags in your house and using it, try to make them understand that it is not at all usable. Fine. Just go and start from your home itself. If your mother is using, your father is using, your brother, sister, grandparents, just remove it where you can. Okay. So I think you are from Rajasthan, if I'm not wrong.
No, ma'am.
You are from where? Where do you belong to?
I live in Chidava.
Chidava. So just do one thing, that you are not in metro city right now, so you are not bound to get milk in the
This
poly
is not
bags
a
and all.
metro city. This is a town, a small town, ma'am.
Yeah, I know that. So just you are not bound to have some dairy products from poly bags and all. Use your own vessel to carry the milk. Use your own vessels to carry the curd and all. Use your own bags for vegetables and fruits. Fine. So just keep it from your home. And if you become strict for your members, 4 or 5 members, your maternal side, your paternal side, your friends will definitely get motivated for the same.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Don't bring the plants in the poly bags. Just do it. If we are talking or we are discussing over here, you guys, to be very frank and practical, please don't mind, but you all guys are going to forget it after half an hour, 1 day, 1 week. But if you are do it right now, that and just throw it out away, where it is not at all maximum, utilizable. So just throw it away, just burn it. Like I just suggest you that in our homes we are not getting much of the poly bags in our homes, right? So just
Yes,
put
ma'am.
it in on newspaper and just burn it out. It will not emit so many gases that it will completely destroy your environment, but it can useful for you and your home, that don't see a polythene again in your home.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
go it for both of your families. Just do it and try it to do for 6 months, for 1 year. You will definitely see the change you wanted to see in the environment and the surroundings, because I just did it. Fine, thank you.
Thanks, ma'am.
That was an amazing idea, ma'am. I guess we all should try this idea that Shivani ma'am suggested. It's a very, very cool initiative. So now we move towards the end of our session. Before we end, there is a one request to all the participants to just start your video for the group photo. Please start your video for a minute. I will take a screenshot. Just capture in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, we are done. So thank you all for connecting with us for this wonderful webinar. It was very, very joyful webinar and very interactive webinar. The questions from the students were very, very wonderful. Even the speakers enjoyed a lot answering the questions, right? So thank you so much. Be curious every time and keep on asking your questions. That will increase the knowledge as well as curiosity. Thank you so much, guys. Now we end the meeting here.